and playing Gaelic football because there's a huge amount of...
Hong Kong is Gaelic mad.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, the All-Stars at the moment are in Boston, right? So they're going over to play in America, and you will see great games of football over there, and you will see Gaelic football. The compromise rules, that's exactly what it is. And to me...
Was it introduced as a novelty?
It was. Well, you see, I think it was introduced way back to give the Gaelic players a chance, and the Australians. I remember the first game I seen down in Armagh, that there was a guy called the Big Dipper. He was about 6'10", and he had a big moustache down to about here, and anything that moved was cleaned. I mean, it was just, I mean, there was bodies lying all over the place. The athletic grounds.
I remember that.
Well, the place
at
was,
the beginning of it.
Yeah, and it was just about baiting and battering and thumping, and so we all thought it was like come back to Brian Bruce time.
Absolutely.
We thought it was the
But
wars.
there was talk then of people being prosecuted for assaults of, you know, nowadays if they did it on the field of plays, so even in the soccer world, you know, if you sneeze at a man in the multi-million pounds league in England where they're paid multi-million pounds, if you sneeze at a man, he'll sue you.
Well, it's embarrassing what happens in professional soccer at the minute. The way
It's
guys,
big girls' blouses.
Well,
stuff.
yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And it's shameful.
That's, by the way, I said a very sexist thing there and politically incorrect thing, and you're guilty by association.
No,
because
but
you said, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, big girls.
No.
But we all know what a big girl's blouse is in football terms.
Yeah,
you know, it's not derogatory.
It's not derogatory. But many's the lovely big girl has fitted into a blouse.
Oh, I'm not even going to go there. I refuse to go down that line. I'm not.
We got him.
I'm not.
Listen, Benny will go down as one of our greats.
There is no doubt about it.
Is Benny the Gooch of County Down?
Oh, absolutely. Well, Benny was every bit.
Does he play the same position as the Gooch?
Well, you see.
Why do I think he did?
Well, he's a forward.
Yeah,
so
he's a forward.
Benny Coulter, or Benny Coulter, as they would say down in the south.
Yes.
One of the greatest footballers of modern times. Nobody can take that away from him. He had the almighty ability to score goals. He could always score goals, and that was the mark of a great forward. You know, you knew that if you needed somebody to pop up with a score, and Benny Coulter got the ball, he was going to do something. He always did. And he when he represented Ireland in the compromise rules, he was brilliant as well. Great footballer, and he had probably one of the greatest leaps. He was like a salmon leaping. And if you can imagine now a salmon going up, yeah. And when he went up, yeah, he was just, and it was so graceful, you know. And when he got the ball, once he got the ball down, away he went, and he weaved and beaved, and it was always.
Why doesn't Jim keep him quietly in the bunker?
Well,
and then with 20 minutes to go, slip him on.
I think maybe that's what Jim McCurry wanted, and maybe Benny says, well, he sort of think maybe I'm getting a wee bit older, a lot of training just for 20 minutes, maybe not worth it. But
it could be.
But I'm only saying this. But dark nights before Christmas, not a very. From a GAS point of view, this used to be a sort of a rest period. Now they're all flat on the mat. So maybe once the bumblebee hits the windscreen and Down need.
When the bumblebee hits the windscreen.
Yeah, when Down need, maybe, like, you know, you can't replace Benny Coulter. You just can't replace him. So who knows? You may see Benny yet, because Stevie McDonald.
He's coming back.
He's coming back. Not Claremont, but back to Killeavy.
But having said about Benny, about wheeling him out for the last 20 minutes, the ultimate kind of extrapolation of that philosophy is that he'll be taken out for the last 20 minutes in a kind of invisible wheelchair and sat there on the corner of the parallelogram. And then he'd get up and somebody hit the body, and then he'll get back in the wheelchair again.
No.
He has to go sometime.
He has to go sometime. And, you know, there's a wee bit of me saying that he's right, but there's also a wee bit of me saying, Benny, you know, football, your timeline in football is short in the expanse of your life. And I would say, and any ex-footballer who played at any level, doesn't matter whether it's junior or senior, will always say they always regret stopping. Because once you stop, you're finished forever.
Well, the one thing, and before telling you what I'm going to tell you next, I just want to say that I love Benny Coulter. He's a hell of a decent man. Because Benny doesn't know me all that well. But Benny Coulter has never passed me without greeting me. as though he's known me all my life.
He's a good lad.
He's a lovely lad.
He's a good lad, and I would say, it's Mayo Bridge's benefit that maybe Benny has stepped down from Down, but
Yeah.
it's going to be good because Down suffer, Mayo Bridge gain, so that's for sure.
What is it about me, do you think, that incessantly doodles on the back of the paper while you're talking?
Well, you see.
Why am I doing that?
You're probably trying to pick up a wee sports thing there on the back page, and you really you
I'm
don't.
not reading anything, I'm just
know.
doodling.
Ah,
But the one
it's
thing that'll be good for Benny going is his bones will benefit, because I know the greatest living footballer in his own house. And that man is Mickey McCartan, my son-in-law, out at Glen, of the tradition.
Mm-hmm.
And totally the greatest footballer in his own house.
Yeah.
And he now has given up some time. But, he sits there in his bone.
Well,
I should have gone and...
I know, but everybody says that, but it's just that's the lure of the green sod.
The lure of the green sod.
And see tonight, Rowan, in Belfast, St Paul's, Bestbrook take on Oma CBS in the final of the McCormick Cup. This is the
What is the McCormick
It's
Cup?
a precursor to the McCrory. Obviously, somebody.
It's a lesser kind of situation.
Well, it's
is
the
it?
league. It's the league. It's the league final.
Is it like the league versus the All Ireland?
No. It's just the two. There's two sections in the McCrory Cup this side of Christmas, and the winners of the top two sections play off to win it. I mean,
is the McCrory still for the elitist grammar schools?
well, no.
And I'm not taking you anywhere you don't want to go.
No,
It's not.
it's not.
There you are.
But it was.
The man said no. It was.
It was absolutely
Yeah.
was. But look, the other teams that have come in, Oma CBS, Maghera Felt, St Pat's Maghera, St Paul's, St Louis. They've all brought something different to it.
Yes.
Why not? Why shouldn't these teams be playing in it? And
I'm putting
it's
that down.
it's going to be good fun with
keep
Oma and St
going.
Paul's tonight, because we just don't know. We don't know how good St Paul's are. We don't know how good.
They're a bit Violet Hill.
Yes, but
So you do know how good they are.
But tonight is a final, right? They won this 2 years ago. They won this competition 2 years ago on a Friday night in Amityville. So it's going to be a yardstick of how these two teams could be contending the final, because the last time St Paul's played in this final, they got to the McCrory final. So it's a good yardstick for St Paul. So hopefully St Paul's can go one step further. They won it the last time, win this tonight and set themselves up for after Christmas. So it's interesting, and good luck to St Paul's.
Good luck to them indeed, and to Jarlath out there and the whole gang out there. They're good people.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about your program, your sport year that's returned. How's it going? What had you got in it? I was away doing things and I didn't get seeing it.
On last Saturday, we started back last Saturday because we just felt that it was time to do that.
Yes.
And
Swallows, when the Swallows come again to Capistrano.
Yeah.
When the Swallows come again to Capistrano, time to do it.
Yes, it's just time to do it again, and there's not a whole lot happening on the sporting front. From you go and look at Sky, you get all that old silly stuff on Sky and everything. At least here you're getting good local information, and hopefully this weekend, now that all the lads are back and the darts is up and running, that we have the pool results from last night, we have the darts results from the night, and then hopefully the Caribbean tomorrow will be on, and we'll be able to get their results in as well. I did say last week that Warren Point got a brilliant result against Linfield, but when we were leaving Linfield hadn't scored the goal right at the end, and when I seen the result, I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, you mentioned Carn Bain there, and Carn Bain has been there since Adam was a lad.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why, with Carn Bain and all the football that's going on in our area, why the last football great we have created was Pat Jennings, who's now a pensioner?
Well,
they're not coming through. We're no longer producing quality players to go into national level football.
No, you see, I need to be careful here, because I don't want to be saying anything derogatory against the Caribbean League and all that.
All I'm asking you to do is observe and speak your truth.
Well, the standard of football wouldn't be that good, right? It wouldn't be that good. But there is great footballers in the area.
But my point's coming through.
Oh,
again.
yeah, but
I keep
again,
saying it.
but
It's like, golf's
But
coming through.
here's the question: would Pat Jennings now have made it into the professional ranks?
Oh, that's an imponderable.
It is a very imponderable question. I know it's a different time and all that. Pat Jennings had raw talent, absolutely raw talent, and was brilliant.
Like Georgie Best. The raw talent will get in anywhere.
Well,
I think what I'm saying is there's no more raw talent.
Oh, you'll always get good ones coming
But
through.
not coming through into League Division,
But
Premier One, and all
have,
that.
but you have to realise, Rowan, that when you bring somebody in to play Premiership, I mean, you could have 1,000 footballers. Maybe just one of them could maybe get the chance.
Yeah.
And may not even be good enough, but that's
That's the point. You see,
and there's that much money involved, particularly
Yeah.
in England at the minute. If it's not a total success immediately, then they're not interested in it.
This
So,
seems to segue beautifully into me telling you
time to
of
go.
the day that Gibby McKenzie of Portadown, scout, offered me a trial with Portadown when I was just 13.
well, I don't know, Rowan. I reckon he was some scout.
Wasn't he?
He must have been.
Spotted talent.
He must have been.
Ah, yeah, that's a backhanded compliment there. He's a nasty fellow.
But Rowan, out of
Yes.
goodness, out of that not happening, then
Yes.
your career in the chair went on and on and on.
Do you know, I'm going to share a lovely story with you. May I do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a great story, this, I promise you. I was coming down the escalator. Is it the escalator? The travelator.
Yeah.
Remember to push your basket now. Do they think we're stupid or something? This voice says to you, push your trolley off the end of the travelator. These Tesco ones think we're buck mad. But here's the story. I go to give some things to the Trussell Trust, the food bank.
Yeah.
And there's a man who's quite ancient. He's an elderly man. And he's smiling at me. He says, Rowan Hand. I said, yes. He's working with the Trussell, the Christian Centre. He says, do you know the last time I saw you? Now, this is a story about telescoping time.
Right, okay.
Rowan Hand, do you know the last time I saw you? And I said, no. He said, you will be very surprised at what I'm going to tell you. I said, well, tell me. He said, the last time I saw you, you were walking out the front door of your home. 48 Derrybeg Drive, Newry, in your naval uniform. He said, how long ago was that? I said, I was 19 or 20 at that time.
So he brought you back.
That's
It's a fair while.
51 years. And that man's name is Charlie Ward. I beg your pardon, Charlie Warr, W-A-R-R. And we greet you this morning, Charlie Warr, Newry man who went down south and lived there all his life. And he's now working as he's not working, he's a member of the Christian church over there on the Newry Christian Centre. But isn't that an amazing thing?
Oh, yeah, just
that
a
a
little-
man takes you back 51 years.
And it's just like
That.
It's just like that.
And I remember the days of going to Belfast, buying the uniform and going to sea as a radio officer in the Navy, going to the Far East, going to Africa, taking bananas out of the plantations in Tico, in the Cameroons. It's a lifetime ago.
it sure is, and it'll be a lifetime on Sunday.
You were hardly born.
No,
then.
I wasn't. It was.
Were you born 50 years ago?
I'm passing on that one.
You look very good. Do you know something? I reckon you could do the tour because I saw Mickey Hart
Yeah.
a few years back doing the inspirational talk business in Newry.
Yeah.
And my observation was that if you have to read your inspirational talk, it's not then very inspirational.
No.
Now, I think first of all, you've got the hairstyle.
Yeah.
You've got the general physical shape of face. You have the enthusiasm for football.
Yeah.
You're a natural raconteur.
Yeah.
So go on the circuit and dismiss and dislodge that fellow Hart from Tyrone.
Well, just the difference between Mickey Hart and me is that Mickey won a couple of All-Irelands. I just commentated in 7.
Mickey, I get into awful trouble about All-Irelands in this town.
Oh, I know.
I did a story in this town. Who did I do the story on?
Well, here's one for you.
Let me tell you
Go
this
ahead.
first, and then you tell me
Right,
that
okay.
one. Here's the story. Mickey Hart, no, not Mickey Hart, McParland,
Over the road.
what's his first name?
Jerry.
Jerry McParland. I did a feature on the shop in the Democrat.
Yeah.
And I said to him, Jerry, you know you're here with Imelda,
Yeah.
running the shop,
2 lads.
lifelong togetherness, family. What was the happiest day of your life?
I know what he's going to say.
He says, the day our ma won the All-Ireland.
True.
You see, when I next walked up Mullen Street, come here, you, she says. Imelda's at the door. What did you say? He said, I'll get into awful trouble over that.
Well, you see, it is. It's one of the moments in time from from an Armagh point of view that everybody remembers what happened and all that. And maybe this Sunday, Warren Point could be having the same because they've in with a chance of winning the Ulster against Enniskeane in the athletic ground. So good luck to Warren Point in the Intermediate Championship. We had Ronan in here on Monday night. Great lad, and the Super Blues are going well.
You've christened them.
The
Super Blues.
Well, yeah, the Super Blues. So good luck to Warren Point. I was talking to a couple of people during the week, and they absolutely think that Warren Point should win that one. And then the big final between Omagh and Slaughtneil. Now, Slaughtneil is in the mountains of South Derry.
Sounds like it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, but they are a vibrant community. They are the things that they're doing at this moment in time. Not alone did they win the football, they won the hurling. Not alone did they win the reserve football, they won the reserve hurling. They've won Camogie, they've won All Irelands, and they are a phenomenal force. Now, it's going to be a tough game of football, and there's a down man referee in it as well, and good luck to Kieran Brannigan. I hope he has a good game in the middle, hopefully.
If he doesn't,
well,
will he get out?
He'll get out, surely, but hopefully it'll be a good game.
I apologise to Slaughtneil.
Slaughtneil are
rising force.
They are. I mean, if you were to sit here last year and talk about Omagh and Slaughtneil in the Ulster final, you would have been saying that boy's on the drink.
Yeah. But having said that, if your name was Damian Slaughtneil, you'd change it by deed poll.
Well, if my name is Damian Slaughtneil, I'd be a very proud man.
He's a crawler all the way.
Oh, no.
Listen, are you finished?
Well,
what more have you to tell me?
Well, Celtic got beat last night in the Europa League. They were abysmal. They were, I mean, their defence was like a sieve. I mean, every time Salzburg attacked them, they looked as if they were going to score. And I don't know. I think that Jimmy McGuinness would probably be a better manager for Celtic.
Who's managing at the moment?
Ronnie Dahl, he's I'm saying nothing. He's trying his best, that's all we can say.
Ronnie,
but they were poor now.
Yeah.
And Spurs won last night, and Everton won, a good result for Everton last night, and a couple of Irish boys playing.
Here's your question for a starter for 10 as we finish. What Italian team did John Charles play for? I ask again, what Italian team did John Charles, Welsh international, play for?
I'd say there has to be Juventus.
Hey, you got it!
There you go.
Juventus.
Yeah.
Well done.
There we go.
Now, what colours did Juventus play in? It has a link with a GAA team in our area.
Well, Juventus play in black and white.
Yes!
Same as Kilcoo.
Yes! We got it. Well done.
How did Carol Cruppen get their club colours?
How did Carol... I got a woman in Carol Cruppen.
Oh, I know
all
you
those
did.
Years
I know
ago.
you did.
A gorgeous, gorgeous woman.
You did.
Who I would forgive her. She made the mistake of divorcing me. But I forgive her. And I discovered from a scientific report that I read on this program this week that it's a scientific fact that any other women that I had a dalliance with in the course of my long life, and there may have been one or two, only one or two, not my fault. That's according to science. Latest science says the fault of God. It's in man's DNA to do that.
It's a wee bit like the gene that's in the women.
What's the gene that's in the women?
When they walk into the shop.
Now, judge now. Which of the two of us shall perish at the hands of angry womanhood?
No.
I, for having said what I've said, or this man criticising them, stereotyping them as shopaholics?
But they just do it. They just walk in and they go around about 10 shops, and then they go back into the very first shop that they went into, and they go look at the very first thing that they looked at and they buy it. Particularly today, and this is one I want to put this with you before I go, Rowan, and it's got nothing to do with sport. This is what's called Black Friday.
Oh yes.
And we know,
shop.
And we know around this part of the world when somebody says it's a Black Friday, you start to think, is there a march or something?
Oh yeah, no. But here it's different.
It's different, yes.
Today is different.
Because this is an American thing that has come in about after Thanksgiving, and it really
it's now been advertised here.
I know,
And it's,
I know.
You know, why are we picking up the crumbs from America's retail table?
From the commercialism of America, and to me, it's wrong. It's just totally
it's
wrong.
nonsense,
It is. It's absolutely wrong. And people's going, "Oh, hell, if I get 20% off." Well, look, why can't our own stores do a normal enough thing here? We're not following the American thing. It's to me, it's horrible.
You ready?
Well, I don't
I
know.
want to thank you. No, but it's not a fight. It's coming like this. You ready?
Right.
There we're going.
Go
Yeah, onward, sir. We'll have some adverts.
Destination Newry.